courses, and there are 18 credits. For each hour or 18 hours of school, you're supposed to study 3 hours. You can do the math. So if you do that, guess what? You will be very, very successful if you stay focused, if you have a very clear agenda in terms of what you're learning. And these are the things that you're not going to really, unless you take maybe like an accelerated learning course, they don't really teach these things. But these are things that not only am I trying to bring to your attention, but you can pass on. But if you apply it even to elementary school, you don't apply it to junior high school, you apply it to high school, you'll be extremely successful in school. Keeping in mind that there's always time to play. I used to go to school, elementary school. I used to have my physical activities, my martial arts, my dance, my gymnastics, so forth and so on, because you cannot just intellectually stimulate this. You have to stimulate your body too, because the body, the spirit, and the mind works together. Which means that you have to have a clear mental agenda whenever you're doing anything. You have to have a clear agenda in terms of what you want to do and how you want to do it. Now, our forefathers, they took the time to write down everything that they were experiencing. They were the ultimate scientists. They took the time to write down everything that they were experiencing. The people that were most prominent in doing this, that they tell us about, because there's a lot of history hidden. Have you heard of the libraries being burnt in Alexandria, Egypt? Okay. It didn't mean that they burned the books. It means that the physical buildings were burnt, but the books were never burned. And to this day, someone has those books. And they're studying those books, trying to decipher what's in them, to use them. And that's when you see an increase in what's happening technologically speaking in our society. A lot of it has to do with what we did as a people in the past. Did you know that? It's something that you need to be aware of. Now, let's get down to some brass tacks and talk about some serious business. A lot of information, and this is what makes America one of the greatest countries in the world. This is what makes America one of the greatest countries in the world, despite what we go through as a people, is that there is free information everywhere. Can you imagine? I've traveled the world. And I can tell you the bottom line is this country is great because of what we have access to. Used to be a time back in my generation where you didn't have 24-hour access to information vis-a-vis the internet. It used to be that time, but now all you have to do is log on and you have access to information. Now, it doesn't mean that every piece of information on the internet is good. No, a lot of it is not so good. But it does mean that if you know what you're looking for and how to find it, it becomes useful. Because information by itself doesn't win the race. It's about how you apply the information. Now, I have a lot more questions to ask. And the young lady with the coat on right there sitting next to Mr. Leach, could you stand up and tell me your name? Yes. Tell me what is of interest to you. What do you like studying?
Psychology.
Psychology. Let me ask you another question. Where did psychology start from? Africa. Did you know that? Okay. Do you know how you know? Because the psychology is the study of what? study of the mind. And who was better at studying the mind but Africans? So that's something that, as you're taking a little snooze, and I know sometimes people sleep, always keep that in mind, that we created psychology. It wasn't Freud, Sigmund Freud, and the rest of those guys. Most of those guys, and most of the today's and yesterday's leading scientists from the West, they spent a lot of time in Africa. The young man in the back, with the green sweater. The young lady that's talking to the young man in the back with the green sweater. All the way in the back. Right. Yeah. Could you stand up, please? Stand up. No, the other one with the green sweater on. Stand up. He just put on a sweater. No, not you. Right in the air, right there. Stand up. Come on, I need your help. Stand up. Stand up, yes. Oh, blue. I can't. It looks green from here. Now, you have to tell me, what do you like? Everybody be quiet, please. You have to tell me, what do you like studying? Math. Now, let me ask you a question, young man. Where did math start from? Can't hear you. He said Africa. Now, let me ask a question, and I want to see the hands go up. How many in this room, and don't be embarrassed, because there's nothing to be embarrassed about. How many people do well in math in this room? That is fantastic. That's very good. That's very good. Okay, put your hands down, and I'm going to give everybody a round of applause. Now, let me just say this. Listen very carefully, because this is important. We're in a global competition. You cannot measure yourself, and this is what we have a tendency of doing in this country. They have a tendency of saying that 17-year-old white males, I should say 17-year-old black males, have the mathematical competency of 13-year-old black males. That's what they say. Now let me give you the real deal. In reality of the global competition, that means absolutely nothing. Did you hear what I said? That means absolutely nothing. You know why? And this is my barometer that I use to measure intellectual excellence. It's about something called intellectual property. It's also something about something called disruptive technologies. It's all about what you produce and how you use it, but more importantly, how you profit from it. And notice I said profit from it because if you name some of the greatest African American inventors, can someone name me one African American inventor from the past? Young lady, let's start. Benjamin Banneker. Woo! One of the best. Now, that was before. Someone needs to tell me who are some of the living and greatest inventors today. Young lady with the coat, stand up. Yes, I am. But, let me say this. Listen, this is important. This is important. Now, I need your help. Listen very carefully. Now, when the next time I ask this question, I want to see everyone's hands go up. Who are some of the greatest living inventors right now? I want to see everybody's hands up. Everyone put your hand up. Come on. Everyone put your hands up. Everyone put your hands up. Okay. Now everyone that has put their hands up will be. Now listen to this very carefully. Everyone that didn't put their hands up have too much self-doubt. So they will have I would never say that they will never be, but I will say that they will have a harder road go, because this is how, listen, this is important. This is how the great ones do it every day. You think that when Michael Jordan woke up every morning, put your hands out. Do you think that when Michael Jordan woke up every morning, you know what he said to himself? When he woke up out of his bed, he said, I am the greatest. That's what Muhammad Ali said. I am the greatest. Every great engineer, scientist, sports figure, music personality, rapper, you know what they wake up every morning saying? If they're at the top of their game, I am the very best. From the moment you wake up, if you do this, your whole life will change. From the moment you wake up, you say to yourself that I am the very best. Whatever you want to study, if you start to study it now very seriously, and you say to yourself, I am the very best, but you got to study and work hard, you will be that. They call it an affirmation. It's something that you say over and over again, until it becomes true. Because, keep this in mind, words shape your reality. Did you hear what I said? Yes. And now everyone repeat after me. Words shape your reality. If you remember that, and you constantly say it to yourself, it becomes true. No one gets at the top of their game without saying it to themselves. No one. No one. I remember Mr. Leach told me of so many people that came through the doors, like Russell Simmons, like Bill Cosby. Guess what? None of these individuals became prominent and great without them having the confidence to believe that they will be the very best at what their particular crafts are. Now, let's talk about some other things. And I'm going to get back to the central core of the things that you need to know. No African American child should be doing poorly in math, because this is something that you have that possibly no one else on the planet has. And this is your gift. Notice I said this is your gift. A gift is only as good as the way you use it. Remember what I said. This is your gift. Listen very carefully. Built into your DNA is all information from the beginning of time. Did you hear what I said? Built into your DNA is all the information from the beginning of time. Meaning that if you have a sober mind, if you're disciplined, if you stay focused, you can bring it out. Did you hear what I said? Okay, young lady in the white sweater, could you stand up, please? In the corner. White top, no, in front of you. Stand up. Now, I just made a statement, and you have to help me. I said, built into your DNA is all the information from the beginning of time. What did I mean by that? Can someone help her? Okay, let's see someone new. Stand up, please.
I think what you mean by saying built into, my name's Alejandro, and I think that what you mean by built into our DNA is all the information that we give time is we have the power to understand anything that happens.
You hear what he said?
Yes.
He said that you have the power to understand anything that happens, has happened, will happen. Notice how far I've extended it. But you have to be humble in your acceptance of that responsibility. Let me just say this to you. Did you hear this? See, when people tell stories, listen to this very